Paul Heyman was fired on WWE SmackDown. Has Sami Zayn already re-signed with WWE? And the Ring of Honor Chief Operating Officer has spoken on the company's future. Stay tuned. So big happenings on last night's SmackDown as Paul Heyman finally fired by the Tribal Chief, by the head of the table, by the needle mover. Have you seen the new t-shirt, Sam?
Yeah, I have. It's not. It's got a dial on it and everything.
It is, isn't it?
I wish they'd had a little felt dial, though, that I could move the actual needle. Come on, WWE. Step your game up.
I like that. Anyway, Paul Heyman fired by Roman Reigns. It finally properly fell apart last night. It's something that's been teased for a little while now. What went down, Sam?
So Roman, as we all kind of know, Roman's been having a little bit of trust issues with Heyman. He's not quite sure what side Heyman's on. And so he just decided to question Heyman outright. He's like, look, I might have been away for a week, but I still see everything that goes on. And, you know, I need to ask you a couple of things. And he says, you know, did you know Brock's suspension was lifted? Did you know he was going to be at MSG? And then he goes, are you a special counsel or an advocate? And the crowd's starting to get a bit ooh, and then Heyman's like, you know, I'm just trying to protect you from Brock, and the Usos kind of lose it at this, but Roman saves face, and Roman's quite stoic, and then he just embraces him, and he thanks him for his honesty, for his 40 years of service to his family, and then he goes, and you're fired, and the crowd popped big for it, and then he laid out Heyman with a Superman punch. And then after that...
But then, the Beast Incarnate runs down to the biggest pop that I've heard in bloody ages.
The farmer incarnate. Did you bloody see him?
Right, I love the dungarees, the overalls. I think they're so funny. I'm a big fan. I want an action figure with those on, with a little dial that moves.
This is it. Me, you, and Brock Lesnar will bring the dungarees back. We're going to have to do it.
I'm well up for that. So yeah, he comes out. It's a weird thing. Imagine like a year ago saying, okay, like... Brock Lesnar is going to save Paul Heyman and he's going to get the biggest babyface pop, and together they're going to be the ultimate babyface duo taking on Roman Reigns.
Oh, and by the way, his gimmick is just Brock from the woods. Like
it's class. This is honestly the most that I've enjoyed Brock Lesnar in a long time. I think they're nailing it. I truly
The crowd, especially because Brock, just to kind of sum up what happened right at the end, Brock came sprinting down to the ring, laid out the Usos, dropped him with F5s on the outside, and then it's just Heyman on his arse in the ring. You've got Roman standing tall and Brock. Brock then charges the ring. Roman starts laying in chair shots on Brock, and Brock just sort of stands up, shrugs it off, and F5s him twice. And so, yeah, the crowd went mental for it. Absolutely bonkers. Mental.
Seriously, and I love it. Like, I think Day One's a very interesting pay-per-view. It really wouldn't surprise me if Roman dropped the title here. I know there'll be a lot of people annoyed at that because it's not Roman putting over a new guy. But if they want to drag this out all the way to WrestleMania, it's possibly the way to do it.
I still think that even if Roman drops the title, he'll get it back fairly quickly, because I think the only way for Roman's storyline to end is surely by either defeating The Rock and then losing to a new rising star, or The Rock defeats him and, you know, does the big reset. But that doesn't really achieve anything, does it?
I don't know. It's going to be a long time away, isn't it? It's not going to be happening at next year's Mania, so there's a lot of time to fill until that. But I'm enjoying it personally. Another man who I'm enjoying, and I think we all enjoy, and especially his interactions with Brock Lesnar over the past few weeks, is Sami Zayn. And Sami Zayn, there's a bit of backstage speculation, according to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter. A bit of backstage chatter that Zayn has already re-signed. He's put pen to paper on a new deal with the company. However, it's not being confirmed by WWE sources. So this is a sort of speculation at the moment, but talent are certainly saying this following the re-signing of Kevin Owens for like $2 to $3 million dues.
And I know people were like, you know, oh, I can't believe he's re-signed. Like, he's looking out for his family. Like, he can't just walk into a job with all of his best mates whenever he wants, if it ever comes to it. Like, if Vince is going to pay him and he gets to be a big star for a company full of casual fans, do it.
Yeah, I can't blame him at all. Like, I get the disappointment, right, with Kevin Owens, is because like we would have loved to have seen Kevin Steen tearing it up in AEW with his mates.
We'll still probably see it one day down the line, but it doesn't. You know, for now, WWE's
make loads of money. Like, they're all killing themselves out there. Think about the bumps that Kevin Owens takes as well.
Did you see what he tweeted the other day, where it was just the bump off the apron? He's like, I don't know why, but this just wiped me out, and it's just landing flat on his back on the floor.
Make your cash. Make your dough, Kev. Anyway, Zayn's deal reportedly set to expire in spring of 2022, sometime around March or early April. There was 9 months added to his contract because he was out with a shoulder surgery and all that, the injury. But it looks like maybe, make up your own minds, and I'm sure we'll find out sooner rather than later, but it looks like he's going to be sticking with WWE for the foreseeable. He's a guy that actually, I think they've done pretty well with. He's a guy who I'm always really entertained by when he's on the screen, no matter sort of what position of the card he's on.
His heel run has just been from strength to strength. Like, it just gets... I didn't expect it to have this level of legs, but here we are all this time since it started, and Zayn is still just killing it.
I remember scoffing at it. I remember like me being an absolute knobbit, being like, "Oh man, Sami Zayn is so likeable. What are you talking?" No, just like when he started coming out, I was just like, "Man, this isn't gonna work."
Yeah.
And he's that talented a performer that he can just make anything work, and I'm a moron. Yeah. So next up, we got more details on the Owen Hart Cup. These were released sort of staggered yesterday. Bits were being sort of drip fed out. What do we know about the tournament now, Sam?
So, it was announced during Rampage that the tournament's going to be running this coming May, so May 2022, with the finals occurring at Double or Nothing, which presumably will be Memorial Day weekend time. Tony Khan revealed earlier in the day on Busted Open Radio that there's going to be both a men's and women's tournaments. I think that might have been touched on yesterday in the news. But both tournaments are going to feature singles competition. Khan also revealed that Dr. Martha Hart will be presenting the trophies to the winners, and of course, this is all going to be tied in with a lot of stuff, with Owen, like merchandising rights with Owen figure. There's going to be an Owen Hart figure released in the AEW line. Owen is going to be a featured part of the AEW game, which we knew already. So this is all kind of neatly tying it all up, and I think I wouldn't be surprised if we'd see a huge drop of new Owen Hart designs and interesting stuff that we've not been able to buy for years.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't wait to be able to go and buy an Owen Hart figure. I just can't wait. Like, I'm really, really excited.
I've got one in my shed back at home. Sam.
It's covered in spiders' webs and stuff.
No, I've got loads of Owen Hart figures. In fact, I've got some Hasbros. I've got some Jack Specifics. You know, whatever you want, mate. You can't. They're mine. That's my retirement funds. No, it's really cool. I'm looking forward. Like, I actually I tried to buy an Owen 316 t-shirt quite recently. It was one of the original ones on eBay, and it ended up going for like $600.
Whoa!
Yeah,
what?
I would have spent maybe $100. Anyway, yeah, it'd be cool to get some new Owen Hart stuff. I've seen some of the graphics that they're releasing, and it all looks really, really nice. And it's a really nice way to honour him, well as raise some money for the Owen Hart Foundation. So all good stuff. We are finishing off with Ring of Honor news. The Chief Operating Officer, Joe Koff, it's talking a bit about the company's future and where things may lead from here, because a lot of people are speculating, including some of the former Ring of Honor wrestlers themselves, that this is basically it. Like, a lot of it, they're phrasing it in weird ways. When they did Final Battle, it was like, if this was the last ever Final Battle, then we went out with a bang. It's like they all seem to...
Then you also had, it was like, the final ever Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. And it was like, what do you mean, final ever? You've just been saying this isn't the final ever.
It sounds horrible. I'm not too optimistic about it restarting, and it just because of the way that a lot of people, proper industry insiders, are talking about this. Anyway, Joe Koff, a man who should probably know more than anybody. He said, what seeped into the narrative is that we were shutting down when all we announced was that we're not doing any live events in the first quarter. We never used the words shutting down. They are still slated to run WrestleMania 38 weekend in Dallas. They booked the venue before the company went on hiatus, so we'll see if that goes ahead. We don't know. I mean, Khan was getting across the point that it was going to be when rather than if. He seems to think it's coming back, right?
So Joe Koff, he's going to be appearing. We'll probably know a bit more on Monday, because he's going to be appearing on Ring of Honor Strong, which is their official podcast, and this is where this quote's come from. It's just kind of been dropped by the host. But yeah, it was PW Insider were the ones saying that they apparently, before they did the reset and shuttered themselves for a bit, but they knew they were going to do that, they booked the venue. So I feel like Ring of Honor is going to be around, but I feel very much like NXT 2.0 that it's not going to be the Ring of Honor we're all expecting. I think it might be an entirely new direction for the company, maybe entirely new talent, It's strange because part of me really wants to believe that Ring of Honor is coming back. Part of me worries that it's going to disappear. And I guess as it's kind of like NXT, right? They've changed up NXT 2.0. NXT to NXT 2.0. I guess because AEW has filled that space in the market. And I think Ring of Honor were the first victim in all of this, maybe because of NXT. So it's going further and further up and down the chain as AEW gets bigger and bigger and starts encompassing more things, and WWE are exploring newer avenues. So maybe, Ring of Honor just need a really big, fresh, new look, reset, different style, whatever they're going to go for. I just want to see it. I don't want to see them close.
No, I don't think anybody does. The more places for wrestlers to work, the better, for sure. Some of them are already, of course, finding work in different promotions. So it is going to look very different because a lot of those talents will end up being signed elsewhere. And they, as they've said already, they're going to rely more on top indie talent coming in under not full-time contracts. So yeah, we'll see. We'll let you know when more emerges. Time will tell. We'll be back in a few hours with some more wrestling news. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.